If you're reading the financial headlines lately, it can be pretty frightening. Seemingly endless challenges to face: inflation, volatility, economic uncertainty, the list goes on. But these challenges are especially concerning for those who are in or near retirement. Every move is so important in preparation for those next 20, 30, or 40 years. Well, our next guests have some good news. There are ways to better plan for those challenges, and they're here to share some of that info on how to do just that. Joining us, we've got Gary Mattson, Laurel Steward, the father-daughter team at Mattson Financial Services, a firm that's been helping people retire successfully right here in West Michigan for decades. You can also catch them on their popular radio show, Money Mentors. Gary, Laurel, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Great to be here. Thanks for being here. It's great to see you guys again. There are so many people who are worried about this one big thing in retirement, and that is running out of money, right? We want to make sure that we've saved enough to where we can live with that money without it running out. How do we do that? I mean, that's got to be a fear you hear every day.
Absolutely. We actually used to do a poll in one of our workshops, and we talk about that, and that would be the number one fear is running out of money.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's hard when you see this volatility going to know, well, what does my steady paycheck look like in retirement then? Because we want to make sure that's matched up just like you did while you were working. And so we help you with that. But, you know, some things for you to start thinking about if you're looking at retiring soon is what do you actually want to do in retirement? Because that's going to be the first thing that we're going to start with is that conversation to know, okay, you want to do these things? Well, then let's talk about what is the money going to cost to do those things, and we can formulate that income plan.
It really has a lot to do with how you're going to live your retirement. Really, that's part of the planning.
Yeah, the enhanced plan that we put together has really two basic buckets in it. The first bucket is what we call your critical income need. This is the money you need every month, and we make sure that that's in a position as much as we can that as you're taking that, you're never going to have losses based upon that bucket. And then we have a diversified portfolio for the rest of the assets, and so we know that some assets, when these stocks and bonds go up, you know, something else is going to go down. When stocks and bonds go down, something else is going to go up. By having those alternative investments, what that allows us to do is pull money out of those without losses and refill that income bucket. So while it is bad to take money out when you're 30, 40% down, it's not nicer to take that when you don't have any losses.
Right. So when it comes to, well, there's another word out there, inflation. I mean, the cost of things is continually, it seems like month to month now, going up. Percentage points are getting kind of out of control here. How do you deal with that?
We actually build that into all of our plans and have prior to this. Obviously, we haven't seen the over 8 in a long time, but we want to make sure that you understand as the investor what the goal is, right? We're going to bring it back to the goal that you want to do in retirement, because I've had conversations with people, they say, hey, I've got stocks and bonds. My advisor said the only place for me to go is cash. And that's a hard conversation for us to have to guide somebody, because if you're looking at inflation at 8.5% on, you know, a large portfolio like $500,000 or more, that's just over $40,000 getting eaten away by just inflation. So like Dad had mentioned, those alternative investments, where else can we make money? Where are opportunities, right, other than stocks and bonds?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. How do you help people decide what investments to get into and what not to get into?
It's really based upon the client. I mean, 100% of what we put together is the portfolio and the asset allocations is based upon the client, their tax base, all these pieces, because really retirement's not about how much money you have. It's how much income you get and you get to keep or consume. And so putting that in a position, we've had a lot of people recently with sitting a lot of cash on the sidelines. They're like, well, I might need it, but I want to get a better return than I'm getting 1 or maybe 2%.
Sure.
So what can we do? Well, we have alternatives out there that we have downside protection and some nice flow as income products. So once again, because we're fiduciaries and we're our own registered investment advisory company, there's nothing out there that we can't help a client with as long as it's appropriate security for them.
So we talked about inflation, we talked about volatility. I mean, what other factors are covered in this? I mean, it seems like you've got all the T's crossed and the I's dotted here.
One more big one, that taxes.
Taxes, I was waiting for that one too.
That's big as Texas.
There's that one. So how do you deal with taxes?
Well, it's really about making sure that, number one, our clients have the income flow they need. In other words, what do they want to spend? And then we look at the different tax structures we have, because we have tax-free, which is always nice, tax-deferred, and then taxable. and then having those allocations right so that client can have that lifetime of income that they're looking for and never run out of money and pay the least amount of taxes, that's what we call the enhanced plan that works.
Okay, so we've covered just a bit today. Okay, just a few things. What if people want to get a hold of you? I know that you guys are offering a great deal too.
For the first 5 callers, if you save $500,000 or more for retirement, so things like your 401ks, 403bs, stocks and bonds, we'd love to sit down with you and start talking about what is it you want to do in retirement, or perhaps you're already retired and you just need a checkup.
Perfect. Let's get people in the door, or at least on the phone. It's a great offer. If you want to call, well, here you go. Gary and Laurel waiting for it. Take advantage of the special offer from Mattson Financial. If you want a more confident retirement, Gary, Laurel, the rest of the team are going to sit down with you personally to customize an enhanced retirement plan just for you. This is a comprehensive plan that includes a look at your investments, your income sources, taxes, and so much more to help get you to and through that retirement you deserve. Reserve one of these spots now. Call 616-514-3831. That's 616-514-3831.